I've heard a couple of times over your 39 years, there's been this alter ego that has appeared from time to time. Tell me a little bit about her.
Well, that's pretty scary.
You know what I'm talking about.
Luscious Leanna. Yeah, that was, I have to laugh. That was in my younger days.
All right, welcome back to the Bennett Podcast. I'm Jason Brady, Executive Director of Marketing and Communications here at Bennett. I've got Lee Gentry, who's a EVP of the Bennett family of companies. You know, Lee, last time on this podcast, we talked a lot about, how executives have, here at Bennett have a lot of experience in the past as drivers and have worked their way up. You've got a really unique background as well. You want to start off by telling us a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, I started in trucking in 1978. I was an owner-operator, drove a truck, learned how to drive a truck from my father-in-law at that time. And he was in trucking, and I was getting ready to get married, and he suggested that to support or supply, for my future wife, that I needed to get in trucking. So I got into trucking. So I tell people I've driven a truck, worked on a truck, slept in a truck, and got a divorce because of a damn truck. So I've definitely played the gamut, but it's been a great experience for me, great journey. And as you know, I love the trucking industry, and I'm very loyal to our drivers. I love every one of them. They do a great job. Without them, there is no us.
So what do you think, the experience that you bring having lived that life, right? And now you've moved into, here at the home office for so long now and playing a pivotal role in your current position. What are some things that you learned as an owner-operator that have really translated to help you and more importantly, help our drivers be succcill? Well,
first of all, because I understand where they're at. Driving or have driven a truck, I know what it's like to be away from your family. I share with folks that it might be the profession you've chosen, but it's a sacrifice every single day. They miss birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas. They miss a lot of things to be able to do what they do every single day. They move this country. And without them, we couldn't have or do the things we do every day. We don't want to ever take them for granted. So, yes, being in a truck and being out there working on a truck and being broke down, been there, broke down on the side of the road, I know what all that feels like. So I'm very attentive to that need and what they're going through. So sometimes I get drivers call me up and say, well, if you probably don't understand what we're going through. And I said, oh, yes, I do. Been there, done that. So I've been able to do the different things. Prior to coming to Bennett, I had, like I said, I drove a truck, and then I grew our business. I had a warehouse. I had many trucks on the road, city trucks, straight trucks. So I've worked that gamut, and then have the opportunity to come to work for Mrs. Taylor and the family in Bennett years ago in '85 to become an agent. So I've worked the agent side of the business here and been involved in helping do different programs within Bennett to help the agents and the drivers. So it's been a great journey. It's been a great journey to be able to be involved in all that, and that experience being that truck helped me get there.
So you mentioned Miss Taylor coming to Bennett in 1985. Talk to me a little bit about that experience. How was working for the Bennett family of companies in any aspect, right, from owner-operator up to your position that you're in now? How has that shaped who you are?
Well, first of all, let me share it's a God thing, because when I came to work for Bennett, and I met Mrs. Taylor over a phone call, one of the agents out in Phoenix, Arizona, Bill Dixon, had the pleasure of introducing me to her. She offered me a position without ever meeting me, which I thought was pretty interesting. I didn't accept right away because I was hoping, I could come back to Michigan and try to work through some things. Well, that didn't happen. So I unfortunately, but it's a God thing. So I met with her in Detroit, and then I drove down here and began that journey. And I was an agent for 2.5 years when she asked me to come and be a regional manager for the Southeast, and then I grew from there, managed the band division, managed the Southeast. I did quite a lot of things during my journey here to where I am today as Executive Vice President. So that's kind of how all that works. So I'm very blessed to be able to get where I'm. I never expected to be the EVP here. It was never my aim. My aim was just to do my job, to do it the best I could. I love the relationships I built with customers to try to help keep these trucks moving. That was the aim. Make sure we had customers and had freight on the board so these trucks could make a good living.
So over the years, you spent a lot of time with Marcy. You know she cares deeply about this company. More importantly, she cares deeply about the people that make this company successful. Got any interesting stories about conversations you may have had with her that, people that are watching this would just kind of make them understand what type of person Marcy really is?
Well, just a couple of things. One, I learned early on that she truly cared for people. It was never about her. It was about the people was around. As you know, 5 years ago, I lost my granddaughter unexpectedly at 9 years old. And, at first I kind of had this deal in my head while I got to be there, but yet I got to be back to work the next day because I felt, my loyalty to her and the business was to make sure that the business kept going. Not that they needed me really, but you work hard and you try to make sure you make a difference. And during that time, that first day, she said, "No, you're not coming back to work. You need to focus on your family." And she knew my grandkids. She knows my kids. She was there during that whole situation, provided food, just was there as a friend, not as a boss. There's a difference. She's still my boss. Don't get me wrong, but we talk about that often, that, we're good friends and I respect her and I'd do anything for her. And she proved right away that she would do the same for me. So she's a genuine person. I tell people all the time if they get to meet her or getting ready to meet her, "Oh, I'm nervous." Don't need to be nervous. As you know, Jason, she's very down to earth, cares about her people, will have an open conversation with you. And she's just down to earth. So it's still a God thing. God's held my hand through this whole thing. And to be able to meet Marcy and be here, be 39, as you know, 39 years, just celebrated being here. I can't believe I've been here 39 years. But and that's not a brag or a complaint. It's just a blessing.
Something to be proud of, for sure.
Thank you.
It's funny. We were with Marcy recently, and I was telling this story. She was a big group of people. We were out in Texas. A lot of, just blue collar, what our industry is all about, right? And it was really interesting to watch her get out of the car and see this group of pretty intimidating group of guys, a great group of guys, but intimidating group of guys, just seem very small around her. Not because she, rules with an iron fist, but because she cares, because they know she cares, she just demands this respect without demanding respect, if that makes any sense.
It does.
I think it's just admirable about her and who she is and how she is. And it speaks a lot about the folks that work for her, that they understand that she is a true leader and that she truly does care, and they're willing to show that respect and work hard to gain that respect. It's just really interesting to watch.
I can understand. I can see that happening. Yeah, she's not intimidated or afraid, but the reason I think they do it is because of the respect and the way she walks in, and she's very, very gentle and kind, and always thanking people for what they're doing, and they know she cares. They know she cares.
Yeah, and she'd probably be pretty uncomfortable about us talking about her right now because she doesn't like people to talk about her.
That's true.
She wants it to be about everybody else.
That's absolutely
So let's
correct.
change the subject.
Sounds good.
All right, we've got a lot to get into. We've got Wreaths Across America, and we've got this big thing coming up here in November. But first I want to ask a couple questions, lighten the mood a little bit. I've heard a couple of times over your 39 years, there's been this alter ego that has appeared from time to time. Tell me a little bit about her.
Well, that's pretty scary.
Yeah,
you
know what I'm talking about.
Luscious Leanna. Yeah, that was, I have to laugh. That was in my younger days. That was an interesting journey how that all began. Mrs. Taylor, we were getting ready for a truck show in Louisville, Kentucky, and Marcy wanted to give a pickup truck away. So she called me to her office and shut the door and shared the thought that she would like me to dress up in a bikini. What you have to do to make a living, right, Jason?
Right.
And lay on the front of that pickup truck and do a photo shoot. And to really share, she thought that really get that going. And that time there really wasn't anybody here in marketing. We all just kind of we met with her and we come up with ideas and we try to figure out how to pull it off. Well, I sat there in her office and said, I'm not sure about all that. I said, I just got married. And I said, I don't know how I want to share that with my new bride. I don't want her to think something different than I'm really not. So she goes, well, I'll be right back. You think about it. I'll be right back in a few minutes. I got to go take care of something. I said, okay. So she left her office, and about 10 minutes went by. She came back in and sat down, and by that time I'd figured out why she had left. She said, so Lee, have you had a chance to think about that? I said, yes, ma'am, I have. And what is your answer? I said, I'm looking for the opportunity to the photo shoot. And so we did the photo shoot down the road here when there was nothing going on here. And I got on the front of that pickup truck. And there was 2 or 3 people helping with that. And people that were there were just laughing hysterically. I wasn't exactly laughing because I was the one that was suffering through the photo shoot.
Right.
And I kept my socks on. I had socks on that photo shoot. And they go, Lee, you need to take your socks off. I said, not happening. I'm keeping my socks on so everybody understands I'm a guy and this is just a photo shoot. So that was a funny day. And from that the slogan on that big photo at Matt's Truck Show, this babe could be yours. And so and I was at that truck show, and people look at that picture, and all of a sudden I'd look over and they'd be pointing at me like that's the guy. And it was fun and embarrassing at the same time. But that's how Luscious Leanne began. And from there I did birthdays and different things, jumped out of cakes and did special appearances. And the last one I did was at a symposium. Chris was the gentleman who walked me down the steps, and that was my last appearance. And that's been quite a few years ago. So I tell people Luscious Leanna has retired out in California, and we probably will never see her again.
That might be a good thing.
I think it's a wonderful thing.
I think it would be
I think
really
we're past
good thing.
that prime.
Yeah.
But it was fun at the time,
yeah.
Jason.
So you mentioned Matt's Truck Show. I want to get into what we've got coming up in a few weeks with our truck show. But to get there, I kind of want to walk through a little bit of the why behind it. There's several reasons why. But one of the most important reasons is something that you've been really passionate about over the past, 4 or 5 years?
This will be 8 years.
8 years. Wow. Okay, so I was wrong.
I believe it's 8th year.
Okay. So that's Reese Cross America.
Yes, sir.
And for those who don't know what Reese Cross America is, give us a little bit of background on that. Tell us why you've become so passionate about it, and how does that tie into what we're about to embark on in November?
Reese Cross America is based in Columbia Falls, Maine. They grow balsam trees to make wreaths. They started it with, years ago, Morrill Worcester and his wife Karen. They had a wreath company, and still do. And they had a few wreaths left over. And so they contacted Arlington National Cemetery and took a few up there and placed them at those soldiers' grave sites. And from there it took off. And so now it's a national organization that called Wreaths Across America. I can't remember how many cemeteries, but I know it's like 2.5 wreaths that are made each year, and convoy of trucks, and we're involved in the convoy of trucks that go out there and pick up wreaths and take them to different cemeteries. And we joined that opportunity in, I think it was 2017, I believe. And we brought down a little over 3,000 wreaths down to Andersonville, along with one driver and myself, and that was it. I helped unload the trailer, which didn't take long, of course. I think the grave cemetery at that time had 20,300 grave sites, and as today, as you know, it's 20,700. Unfortunately, they keep adding, which is sad. But it is a live cemetery. They're still doing burials there. And so I tell people the bug bit me pretty bad. I went to the ceremony that next day. On that Saturday, I was just a visitor, just to be there to watch the ceremony. It wasn't a very long ceremony, very, very short. And I came back, talked to Mr. Taylor, and said, I know that we're really involved in our patriotism value, and I would like to continue to be involved with that cemetery. So she doesn't hesitate. She supported that immediately, and from there we've grown it. Now we're involved in the ceremony itself. As you know, Jason, we're very highly involved in helping to put that program together. We have drivers that go to Maine, Danny Lowry, myself, and others, Larry Barnes. We travel up there to support and be with the drivers. So I'm not involved in that selection. Another team does the selecting of drivers. But we try to make it very special for them when they get to Columbia Falls. We have rooms for them. They can stay in the truck if they like, but we offer them a room there. We feed them. We take them on tours of the balsam farms and do special things. The special thing up there is we go to the church service for the blessing of the wreaths to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So it's a very special evening to be in the church, which Morrill built the church out of log, so it's a log church. So it's right out in the middle, out there in the middle of the balsam fields, right smack in the middle of all that. So you have to drive quite a ways to come through the trees to get to the church. Very cool setting. So we're very blessed. This year we're trying to place 20,700 wreaths, so we still have a ways to go, but hopefully we can get there with some more additional hard work.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Last few years we've been really blessed with some sponsors helping us pay for some of those wreaths. The economy right now, it's tough. It's tough out there, and those sponsorships haven't come through like they have in the past. So we're looking for other ways to raise that money. I know you're passionate. You can see it. You can hear it in your voice when you talk about it. And one quick note too. One of the, I think, cool things is a lot of those drivers that are given that opportunity and volunteer to their time to transport those wreaths are veterans themselves. Sure. Which is a big part of who we are as Bennett. Is a lot of our drivers out there, owner operators out there are former military and veterans, and we think really highly of everybody, but certainly their service means a lot to us, and I think that's another interesting piece. But this year, right, we're trying to raise money like we've done in years past, but we're doing a little bit different this year. Talk to me about November. Talk to me about November 1st and 2nd. Got a lot going on.
We do. This was kind of a vision that Bill Trotter and David Larry had to have the largest truck show in the nation at the end of the year, the truck show schedule. And so in combination with the ball drop, we did the first ball drop last year, and that was a lot of fun. So we combined that this year. So it's November 1st and 2nd inside the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So we have the annual ball drop, which will be Saturday. But Friday night, we have Lindsay Luller coming from Nashville to sing in concert. Saturday night is Tony Justice, Saturday night in concert with a special tribute to all veterans that night. So it's going to be a special event, along with the flyover of the Cobra and the Huey helicopters to really honor those veterans. So a special night on Saturday night. But we did it, again, to try to raise money to help place wreaths at every gravesite in Andersonville. So it's a big deal. We have a patriotic truck show. We have a working truck show. We have the combo truck show. And we have an elite truck show. So we're working with Evan. He is invited, 12 to 15, what I call the elite trucks. They don't work anymore. They're show trucks. Man, they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they will be displayed. They will be professionally judged. And it's what we're calling the national championship. So we're working with Evan and others within that group to make that the Atlanta Motor Speedway the national end of the year national championship, and that those elite trucks will be awarded the top award. So prior to Atlanta coming in next year, we'll have, like the NASCAR, we'll have different locations prior to that they'll be judged, and they'll be part of the last part of that few to be judged at the Atlanta. So the team's really working hard on that to do that. Bill and Polly Trotter are working on that program, so appreciate that, what they're doing with that. And, of course, motorcycles have a great group. Patrick Russo and the team are working on that to help support that. And then the Jeeps, John McGahee is leading that up. So a lot going on that weekend. For sure, and then the Atlanta Motor Speedway is sharing rides there. So on Saturday, so that'll be fun. But if you haven't registered, if you like to, we're really encouraging the Bennett trucks. I know they just we guys did one at Drivers Appreciation, but this is going to be a lot larger. So we're hoping that the Bennett trucks will take advantage of coming out and registering, especially some of the patriotic trucks. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We have local bands that are playing on Friday and Saturday as well. So we have local bands that come, and we wanted to showcase them. So we've got those coming. So, just a lot going on that big weekend. Again, all focused on helping to support wreaths across America.
I think that's the most important piece, right, is every dollar that we make from this show goes towards a wreath. Just kind of give you a little bit of a recap and fill in the blanks for me, right? So if you haven't been a part of the ceremony for Wreaths Across America, that's December 14th this year down in Andersonville National Cemetery, which is just a beautiful place. You go there and you feel it.
Very
right?
peaceful.
You feel the peace there, and then watching how folks place the wreaths on the graves is probably one of the most touching things that I've seen in a while. I've been a part of it 2 years now, and it's one of the things that I look forward to. It's a great way leading in the holiday to put a lot of things in perspective, right? So the truck show, you went over a lot. I'm going to kind of go back through it. If I miss anything, let me know. Right? I think one thing that you didn't really sell for us here is the golf ball drop. So
Yes.
that golf ball drop, we did it last year. We're doing it again this year. Only 2,000 balls are being sold. Each ball is $100. All proceeds go to pay for wreaths for what we were talking about for Wreaths Across America.
Correct.
So you've got a 1 in 2,000 shot, which seems pretty big, but it's really not. Top prize, closest to the pin, $10,000. Buy a ball for $100 can win $10,000. And then we were giving away a cruise. I think second or third prize is $5,000. And we're even giving a prize for the person who is farthest away from the pin. I think that's $1,000.
That's correct.
Right? So I think all said and done, $30,000 or $40,000, $30,000 worth of giveaways, right, just from the ball drop. Anybody that's entered in the motorcycle, Jeep, or truck show has a chance to win some cash prizes as well. You talked about Tony Justice and Lindsay Lawler, kind of our headliners on Friday and Saturday, but we've got a local band, Montgomery Pike, that's going to be there playing on Saturday afternoon. They're incredible. I've got a feeling we're going to see them in Nashville one day, along with one of our own Bennett employees, Tim McGee. He's going to be out there playing, and then a few others. But for more information on this, where do they need to go?
Oh, the best way to go is go to sswltruckshow.com. That's where all the information is on our landing page, so please visit that. And drivers, please register to be a part of that. Enter your trucks. If you don't want to do that, bring your family, come out and hang out with us. It's going to be a fun couple of days.
Yeah, load up a car, right? Because it's
Absolutely.
only $10. It's a $10 donation. It's not $10 for park. It's a $10 donation to get inside the track. And you could load up your car with as many people as you can.
It don't matter. Bring them.
It's $10 for the one vehicle.
That's correct.
Before we go, any parting comments, thoughts around the truck show, around your time here at Bennett? Anything that you want to share with drivers as far as advice?
Well, first of all, it's a great company. I say that all the time. As you know, I'm retiring at the end of this year, so it's bittersweet. I shared that at Drivers Appreciation because I wanted to thank all the drivers for all that they do, and I want to say that again. Thank you, drivers, for all that you do. It's been a pleasure working with you and being a part of all of this journey that I've had the pleasure to be on. Couldn't do it without you. Without you, there is no us. So God bless you and thank you. And Jason, thank you for allowing me to be on today. It's been a great program, and thank you.
You bet. And it's recorded now. You announced your retirement. It's actually recorded now. I know you've said it, but it's on tape.
It is on tape. So looking forward to my next journey.
We definitely appreciate you, Lee.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, Jason.
Take care.